welcome you to Fearen Fear Files, where I show you all the things that they don't want you to see. I don't know what's going on with these new viruses, but there's plenty of poop going on. So let's get into it. And without further ado, let's get to the videos.
That's spreading across 25 different states right now, and it has 75 mutations that your vaccine has never seen. So basically, the CDC just dropped a new report on a new COVID variant that they're calling BA.3.2. They nicknamed the entire strain cicada because just like the insect, it spent 2 years underground before coming back. So that's quirky. I'm glad you guys are like that. It was actually first found in South Africa back in 2024 and has been quietly spreading ever since. So I'm really glad you guys are telling us now. But this is the part that is actually wild because this variant has 75 mutations in its spike protein compared to the vaccines that we got last fall. Scientists are currently saying that it could dodge immunity from both vaccines and prior infections.
A new COVID variant is spreading across the US, and it may be able to evade protection from current vaccines.
The WHO classified it as a variant under monitoring back in December. As of right now, it's been detected in at least 25 states and 23 countries worldwide. It is still less than 1% of total cases, but the numbers have been climbing since last fall and they're not slowing down. 75 different mutations in 25 different states right now. Cicada is back, and apparently COVID is too.
Health officials say they're now investigating an additional outbreak of that parasitic illness, a new one from the same parasite, though they haven't said where the new cases are or what food may be tainted. And on that tonight, Taylor Farms has reportedly shut down the plant with lettuce suspected of starting the initial outbreak, the one that sickened thousands now in at least 41 states. Here's CBS News correspondent Carter Evans.
Abigail Lamont is finally starting to feel better weeks after becoming infected with cyclospora.
I have never been miserable like that in my life. Never.
She believes she ingested the parasite after eating at a Michigan Taco Bell in late June. She spent almost a week in the hospital where doctors were unable to prescribe the standard treatment because she's pregnant.
Were you afraid for the baby?
Yes, I was very afraid. But the worse I got, the more I thought this can't be good for the baby either.
Her story is just one of the more than 1,600 FDA-confirmed cases of cyclosporiasis in 5 states, where people reported eating at Taco Bell between May 13th and July 13th. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that public health authorities told Taco Bell executives on July 14th that lettuce from Taylor Farms was the suspected cause. The same day, Taco Bell said it voluntarily removed limited ingredients at select restaurants as a precautionary measure. Today, Taylor Farms is reportedly temporarily shutting down its Mexican processing facility linked to that outbreak. And now the FDA is reporting another cyclospora outbreak that has infected at least 72 people, but there's no information linking it to the outbreak tied to iceberg lettuce.
Certainly, there could be other sources of cyclospora in the food chain.
Epidemiologist Anne Ramoyne says the U.S. sees cyclospora infections every year during warmer months between May and August.
Might we see more cases of cyclosporiasis related to other exposures? We're definitely going to continue to see more cases. This is a disease that is endemic in many of the places where we get our produce, and this should highlight it to everybody, the importance of food safety.
We've reached out to the FDA on these latest cases, but the agency has given us no new information. Tony?
Carter, we also understand there's now an egg recall potentially related to a deadly salmonella bacteria. What do you know on that?
That's right. Midwest Poultry Services is recalling 1.6 million eggs over concerns that they could be contaminated with salmonella, which could be fatal for some people with weakened immune systems. Now, those eggs were sold under multiple brand names, including Kroger, Simple Truth, Brookshire's, Country Morning, and Sunups. The FDA also reported another salmonella outbreak yesterday, but that has sickened 106 people, and they didn't give any further information on that one either. Tony?
We'll keep asking. Carter, thank you.
Guys, the CDC is currently warning the entire country that West Nile is off to the earliest and fastest start since 2004, and its peak season has not even started yet. The CDC just officially confirmed 48 different West Nile cases across 23 different states, and by this point during the year, we should normally only have 10. That's about 5 times the normal number, and it's the earliest and the biggest start that we've seen since 2004. There is still no vaccine for it and no actual treatment, and most people who get it never even feel it. About 1 in 5 get flu-like symptoms, but 38 of these 48 cases are the serious kind that gets into the brain and the spinal cord. They say that Arizona is a hotspot by a mile, and one county there has already close to 30 cases on their own. The mosquitoes that carry it get way more active in the heat, so the CDC is also telling people to cover up and use repellent right now. 2004 is the last time West Nile started this early, and that year it turned into one of the worst outbreaks the country has ever seen. It ended with over 2,500 cases total, and right now we haven't even reached peak season, which is August and September. It is one thing after another.
The first warning sign wasn't a person getting sick, it was dead birds. Now West Nile is showing up unusually early, with California finding hundreds of infected mosquito samples in dead birds, and one LA County resident hospitalized after the virus reached their brain. Now you know.
I need all y'all to mask up. This ain't no joke. This ain't no laughing matter. I need all y'all to put on y'all masks. What they don't want y'all to know is there are different strains of coronavirus out here that's killing us off. And it's a silent killer. I didn't know I had it. Cause I came to the hospital yesterday, and they said I had pneumonia again. When I got here this morning, they said, Miss Parkman, the CDC is on the way to see you. We had to send out for the CDC. I say, what y'all calling the CDC for? Y'all, there is a strand of coronavirus here. I am the first person in the United States. The news people have been here. This is not a joke, y'all. When I tell y'all, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. These people told me I have a strand of coronavirus that the public don't know about, because our president has took us from the World Trade Organization, and now the CDC is here trying to figure out what they can do to get me back together. My heart rate right now is 144. I'm on steroids, and I'm on oxygen.
Listen, it is amazing. Every time there's a world conflict, it's got to be some kind of disease, parasite, some type of something, man, always show itself. Now motherfuckers are getting sick off of lettuce and some fruit, causing explosion, diarrhea. Got motherfuckers sick right now, shitting so much they dehydrated, falling out at the hospital. I never thought I'd see the motherfucking day, boy, when this motherfucker right here say the day. You know what I'm talking about? This right here, boy, if you been listening, these folks something up, boy. Because if I knew this shit was finna get ready to pop out, boy, I'd have put all kind of money in Sherman stocks and cotton stocks and any kind of fucking toilet paper right now. Toilet paper is needed so fucking much right now in the United States, man. Motherfucker don't give a damn what they buy. You know what I'm talking about? It could be that shit to be at the grocery store, that shit that your fat man list. Hey, stop eating the motherfucking lettuce. Stop eating some of this goddamn fruit.
Hey, I ain't trying to be funny. Hold up. Man, you can get rich. Slang you some toilet paper. This disease is finna be on and pop. I'm finna pile up on the toilet paper.
Unless you've been growing it yourself, or you know a local person that's got, you know what I'm saying, a nice little piece of land and they grow all their greens and all their everything, you know what I'm saying? Then you kind of be all right, you know what I'm saying? But don't be going over there to Walmarts and all these motherfuckers, man, going to get that pre-made salad, going to get the motherfucking cabbage heads and all that shit, man, because it's something out there right now, man, fucking people's stomachs up, man. I don't know what it is, but I always know. Every time some bullshit be happening in the world, they need a motherfucking distraction. Nah, toilet paper is the savior of the day. Y'all stay up out, though. Get it out the mud.
Good afternoon. I'm Laurel Lee, and this is WPRNT News. News headlines busy parents need to know. Our story today, U.S. measles cases hits a 35-year high. According to Johns Hopkins University, U.S. measles cases have hit the highest number in more than 3 decades. The university's measles tracker finds there have been 2,295 measles cases this year, and it's only July. That number just surpassing 2025's total of 2,289 cases. It marks the highest number of measles infections the country has seen since 1990, when 27,808 cases were recorded. While measles can be deadly, no one in the United States has died of the virus so far this year. But measles can cause a host of other medical maladies. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 20% of unvaccinated Americans who get the measles are hospitalized, and 1 in 20 develop pneumonia. 10% of all U.S. case patients this year, ages 5 and under, have required hospitalization, as have 10% of those ages 20 and older. The U.S. officially eliminated the measles in the year 2000, but measles transmission has persisted for 1 year, bringing the nation's elimination status into question. So tell me, are you worried about measles? Have you changed any behaviors because of that worry? Let me know in the comments below, and remember, we're in this beautiful chaos of parenting together.
Norovirus is highly contagious. You get it from people who are already infected with norovirus. You get it from contaminated surfaces. You also get it from contaminated food and water. The first thing you should know is that you are most contagious when you have symptoms, especially the symptom of vomiting. But you're also still contagious a few days after your symptoms improve. But this is the thing. Studies have shown that you could still potentially spread norovirus up to 2 weeks after you feel better and even longer. You gotta wash your hands rather than use hand sanitizer, because hand sanitizer does not work so well against norovirus. You have to wash your hands. 20 seconds scrubbing with soap and water is very important. Also, make sure you wait at least 48 hours after your symptoms stop before you start handling food, preparing food, or caring for other people. Make sure that you're handling and preparing food safely. Also, make sure that you are disinfecting surfaces regularly and that you are washing any clothes that could be contaminated. Guys, stay safe. Norovirus is highly contagious. You get it from people who are already infected with norovirus. You get it from contaminated surfaces. You also get it from contaminated food.
People online say The Simpsons hinted at a 2026 outbreak linked to a new virus from China, HMPV. In the episode, people talk about a sickness spreads quickly in Springfield. Everyone falls ill. Sore throats, burning fevers, non-stop coughing, and body pain so strong even Homer stays home. Lisa feels so weak she can't study. Dr. Hibbert ends up checking patients outside because the clinic is packed. The hospital fills up completely. Schools shut down again. Most people have to work from home. Mo is only allowed to serve customers outdoors. And the Quickie Mart has lines stretching outside the door. Masks come back everywhere. But even with all this chaos, the town tries to adjust kids talk and play from their windows. Neighbors look out for each other from a distance. Homer starts cooking for the first time. Bart finishes his homework out of pure boredom. And Marge designs funny homemade masks. The toughest part for everyone is staying inside for so long. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Mes amis, boîtez, gingembre, cannelle, crasez tout ensemble bouyo boy mes amis gon grippe k'ap saccager USA dans moment ça là 1900 moun qui t'a perdu la vie yo guys m'pa nous menti passer la caille moi il craser zo des moun et puis là fait outli guys nous connaît moun ça c'est pour yo n'importe petit bagay la gagne water nous même c'est bon green haïtien nous c'est boité et puis tout fait comme nous ouais 1 2 3 m'a besoin de nous en bas pas vinn mourir là même pour ti équipe alors porter message ça pour nous moi dit nous si n'a vivre dans nord ouais en pile té couvrir tête nous mettez cache-nez pas bay moun lamé parce que dans moment ça là moun a perdu la vie yo parce que grippe ça paraît à terre guys li bon tout ce qui sec l'eau tout c'est très sec et puis tête fait mal zo crasé bouche par goût moi je te gen 2 petits mille qui passe en bas guys partagez pour plus monde ka connaît comment pour protéger tête yo pour bon pile té mes amis vous dites ça passer dans commentaire non à toute bagage ça ka passer là guys malé.
La alerta sanitaria en Estados Unidos tras descubrirse el primer brote de hantavirus. Ahora es muy importante decir esto porque lo que sabemos hasta estos momentos por la prensa y por las declaraciones de expertos es que este no es hantavirus común. Es verdad que este no es un virus nuevo, es con antelación, pero esta cepa no es la tradicional. Hay varios. De hecho, la mayoría se
US health officials say an American is testing positive for the deadly hantavirus and another has mild symptoms.
An American passenger who was on that cruise ship at the center of a deadly hantavirus outbreak has now tested positive for the virus, and another American is showing mild symptoms. They were among the 17 Americans on the cruise ship who were placed on an evacuation flight headed back to the U.S. overnight from Spain.
2 new cases of the hantavirus Andes variant that transmits from person to person have been confirmed in the United States in passengers making their way from that Honduras cruise ship to the United States. Now, it's currently 4:45 a.m. Central Standard Time here in Houston, Texas. This news coming out in just the past hour. I'm anticipating if you're not watching this live, you're likely going to see this early in the morning, and this is going to be all over the news. But let's take a look at this breaking news coming out so that way you can see it for yourself. Headlines coming out in just the past hour. Americans returning to the United States from the hantavirus cruise ship have tested mildly positive on evacuation flight, HHS says. Now, this was one of the main concerns of experts. They were saying that right now.
At this point, being outside is starting to feel like a luxury sport with side effects. Now they're talking about this new virus called a vomiting virus. And California, ground zero. And now before y'all say, oh, we gonna be all right, that's what everybody says before they spend 48 hours negotiating with a toilet. This is another strain of a norovirus. They call it a winter vomiting disease. Oh, how lovely. Because it's June and apparently the virus didn't get the memo about what month we were in, but okay. And the experts say it's not necessarily more contagious. The problem is fewer people have immunity to this version. So it spreads easier once folks start getting sick. So get this, it's expensive outside, gas expensive, food expensive. And now going outside might also mean throwing up, cramping, diarrhea, and all that too. Have you heard about the vomiting virus? And do you think the government's even paying any attention, or are we on our own?
The Nipah virus is spreading, with a fatality rate as high as 75%. Health officials across Asia are on high alert. A new outbreak in India's West Bengal state has hospitalized healthcare workers and forced over 100 people into quarantine.
Neighboring countries are tightening border controls. Thailand has launched mandatory airport screenings. Nepal has increased health checks.
And what the hell going on here, America?
Out of more than 4,000 people on board, 102 were passengers and 13 were crew members. The ship left Fort Lauderdale on April 28th and was traveling through the Caribbean, including stops in the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas before returning toward Florida. Health officials say the virus can survive on surfaces for days and spread through entire ships incredibly fast. The main symptoms being reported are vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramps, and nausea. In response, Princess Cruises says they increased cleaning and disinfection procedures, isolated sick passengers, and collected samples for testing. And according to the CDC, at least 160 people ended up reporting symptoms during the trip. And once the ship arrives back in Florida, the Caribbean Princess is expected to undergo a full deep cleaning before its next voyage. What's even crazier is that this is already the 4th gastrointestinal outbreak reported on cruise ships this year alone, according to the CDC.
Thanks for watching this video that was made for entertainment purposes only. Please respect our disclaimer. We got it from the National News Service.
Ustedes están viendo aquí es una funcionaria de la OMS, de la Organización Mundial de la Salud.
Sorry, but I'm about to ruin your day. The FDA just announced there's another cyclospora outbreak, and yes, it may be different from the one you've already heard about. So 72 people have been linked to the new outbreak, according to an update posted on the agency's website Wednesday. And this comes from a different, unidentified source. The agency has launched traceback investigations, but has not provided any information on the source of the parasite or the outbreak location. Now, messaging around these outbreaks has been confusing, and health experts say that's in part because of the difficulty in tracking the parasite, which also can't be reproduced in a lab. The previous major outbreak focused in Michigan and 4 surrounding states has been linked to shredded iceberg lettuce sold by Taylor Farms and grown in central Mexico, although that's not been confirmed through lab testing. On Friday, the Washington Post reported that the CDC has linked that outbreak to 4 more states: Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania. Cases of cyclosporiasis have now been reported in 41 states. So what can you do at this point? While we wait for more information, these are still good food safety tips to follow. Wash hands with soap and water before handling food, and note alcohol-based sanitizers don't kill cyclospora, but soap and water is highly effective. Wash your produce well. Cook
The Simpsons predicts that a dangerous food parasite could spread across the United States in 2026. The tiny organism is hiding in fresh foods like lettuce and other leafy greens. The problem begins when people notice unusual bloat after eating healthy salads and vegetables. At first, the symptoms seem mild, but they quickly become much worse. Severe stomach pain leaves many people unable to stand comfortably. Their stomachs become swollen, making daily activities difficult. Soon, many start feeling sick and begin vomiting after meals. Eating even small amounts of food becomes a challenge. Health officials warn the public. As more cases appear across the country, people lose weight, grow weaker every day, and struggle to work or leave their homes. Doctors treat growing numbers of patients with the same symptoms, and medical tests reveal a tiny parasite inside the digestive system. Authorities remove fresh salad products from stores and close farms, while investigators search for the source. Hospitals become overcrowded, with children and older adults affected the most. Could this really happen, or is it just another Simpsons prediction? Share your thoughts and stay safe.
January 2026, a virus known as subclade K could begin spreading across the United States. In their story, the infection ripped through Springfield with terrifying speed. People suddenly fell ill with burning sore throats, fevers that refused to break, relentless coughing that stole their sleep, body pain so severe that even Homer couldn't leave home, and crushing headaches that forced Lisa to abandon her books. Dr. Nick Riviera was driven to examine. Patients outside in the parking lot as the hospital collapsed under the pressure. Once again, schools were shut down, work moved indoors. Masks returned, mandatory across the town, turning familiar faces into distant silhouettes. Still, the people of Springfield tried to adapt. Children played games through glass windows. Neighbors spoke from afar. Homer struggled to cook. Bart did homework out of empty boredom, and Marge stitched masks with awed. Forced smiles, but the darkest part was the confinement. Days blurred together indoors. Some residents clung desperately to the idea that life would soon return to normal, while others searched for new habits just to keep their minds from breaking.
All right. That seems to be all I have for y'all for today. Like we always say and like we always do, I'd like you guys to like and subscribe, comment, and share these videos so that other people with like-minded like y'all self could, get these videos through. But without further ado, I'm going to end this